play baseball heavily, so I knew all of them. I played 20 seasons of baseball, so I was like really really bikias in sport, in baseball at least. So Mets, and I was a Braves fan. Like I was in it, and then I became from and I stopped caring.
It's a good story.
I hear.
Mr. Horowitz, no comment on becoming from and then forgetting about sports?
I mean, it's just ridiculous. I mean,
I couldn't.
I guess he never heard. I guess he never
Aaron,
heard about the Schiller, you know, or by Horowitz or Hill Cutler. You never run anything by them. So
I stopped playing.
It's too easy, parents.
So I stopped playing, and then once I stopped playing, like I stopped caring. It wasn't like, like I'm from now, because like it wasn't that from. I knew nothing of nothing, but like once I was like not like it, not that I was in it anymore. I just stopped.
Yelso, what's this weight in your mouth over there, Yelso? Let's talk about that. What was that?
We have Tano's birthday cake. I'm eating. Delicious.
Birthday cake?
Mm-hmm.
Ooh.
All right, let's go. Ready?
I think it's a inflation cake.
You saw the meat I had covered. You're not Rosh Chodesh. You guys would really be.
Yeah. Tzviaka would not be happy to see that meat.
No.
Why not?
A T-bone steak.
What's the matter with that?
A
porterhouse.
Porterhouse.
Where'd you get it from? Where'd you get it from?
The guy in Jersey who does it. He's big, taking out the gid. He's a whole.
Bakar?
What?
Bakar meats?
Yeah, Bakar. Yeah.
Amish, your Bakia, Simon, is all over the place, Simon.
I'm about to order a whole bunch from that guy.
There's two guys. There's a guy in California who does it also. There's two guys. There's Bisra.
His name's John Benziken. His father was the rabbi that made me from.
Really?
One second. Is the porterhouse so good?
Yes.
It's real filet mignon. I mean, what do you know?
Yes.
You never had it.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. I can tell you, yes.
All right. Okay, let's go. I guess becoming frum doesn't make you stop eating.
One second. Yossi, you're saying it's different than Mommy's corned beef from Yom Tif, you're saying?
Yeah, Mommy's black flesh she used to make. A little bit different.
All right. Let's go. So, Techazer from yesterday. Right, so if one of the brothers died, then all the brothers should be scared. If a friend dies, then the entire chabura should be scared. Machlokes, if destruction while damaging and making a fire is liable. Measurements for a sit kuffel, right? We said like this, or we had a machlokes this. Anam Beis, R Shimon Gamliel says that all enclosures, machlokes if a deer is considered trapped in a house, and R Shimon Gamliel says all enclosures are not the same. Then we had a contradiction between the Mishna and the Bryce about trapping fish and wild animals. We said one's talking about a bird that listens to orders and one's talking about a bird that doesn't. Then we said a small enclosure you're going to be chayav for. How do you define a small enclosure? It was 3 pshatim. Either you jump, if it takes you 1 lunge, that's a small enclosure. 2 lunges is not, right? Or if the shade of the walls will hit each other, or if there's a hiding place for the animal. Then we said the halacha is like R Shimon Gamliel, and then the Gemara said, what's the point of saying that? Nobody disagrees with him, right? So, okay, we had that. Then trapping sleeping, blind, sick, or old animals. And then we discussed trapping bugs. Then we had the trapping of deer with 1 person or 2 people. And then trapping a lion. So now we're up to that next Mishnah on the bottom.
Where are we?
Kuv Vav on the base. Yeah? Fine. So Zok the Mishnah. Yashav ha'echad ala Pesach v'lo milu. If one guy sits on the doorway and he doesn't fill it up, Yashav hasheni milu, and the second guy fills it up, so hasheni chayev. The second guy is chayev, meaning you have a door with a deer hanging out in the house. The doorway, like most doorways, one guy is not going to be able to trap the deer, right? Because he's standing in the doorway, there's going to be plenty of room. Yeah? Most doorways are at least 3 feet wide. Yeah, so if one guy sits there, it's not considered trapped. 2 guys go there, then it's considered trapped. So the second guy is considered the guy that traps it, not the first guy. But let's say the first guy, let's say it's a small doorway, so the first guy does fill up the entire doorway. Uba Sheini v'yasha b'tzida, and comes the second guy and sits next to the first guy, right? So the second guy did nothing because it was already trapped. But let's say the first guy gets up to leave, right? Now you have the second guy is providing the trapping. And the first guy gets up and he goes. Chayev is chayev, hasheni patur. Still, the first guy's chayev and the sheni is patur because the first guy was the guy the first guy's the one that trapped it. The second guy was only trapping something that was already pre-trapped.
The second guy doesn't move over?
Right, so that's a discussion of exactly what the case is, right? Did he have to move? Did he not have to move? I forgot who discusses that. Who discusses that? Whether he moved or not. Pashas is that he did not move. It must be one of the Rishonim. I don't remember now. But Pashas is the guy didn't move, because if the guy had to move, then he did the Maisa. That's what you're asking? That's what you're asking, right? I'm saying the second guy had to.
Yeah.
So either the first guy went inside the house. I can't believe I don't remember who says it. Either the first guy walked into the house, so the second guy didn't have to move at all, or he was in the doorway, like half in the doorway, something like that. But yes, you're right. If the second guy has to actually move, and the first guy will get out. If the first guy gets up, the dog will get out of the house. And the second guy has to move to keep it in. Yes, then for sure the second guy is going to be chayav. Yes, 100%. Somebody locks his door to watch it, and he already sees a deer in there that's already trapped. Right? Meaning, you have a deer that's already in a trap in your house, and you go lock the door to your house. You're not going to say that by locking the door to your house, you're going to be chayav because you trapped the deer, because the deer's already trapped. So the same thing here. The second guy is sitting down behind the first guy. We're not going to say that the second guy did any sort of mice trapping, because the first guy is the one that did the trapping. And even if the first guy gets up, it's not going to be a problem. Which the Gemara will discuss. It's Zog the Gemara. Yakub Zayin Amar Aleph. Amar Rav Abba, Amar Rav Chia Barashi, Amar Rav. Nichnas l'lay tzibur tachas knafav. So let's say you had these wide clothing, right? Back then, a lot of people, we had that a few blot ago, that the Parsim wore very wide clothing. Either way, a guy's sitting there, he's got a big poncho on him, and all of a sudden he realizes that there's a deer flying around under his poncho. Right? So it trapped itself.
Not a deer.
A bird.
Not a deer.
I said a deer?
Yeah.
Sorry. Yeah, that would be pretty interesting to get a deer under your poncho. Yeah, thank you. Right, so a bird is flying around under his shirt or whatever it is. Right, so you can sit there though and be shimer it until it gets dark, and now you trapped yourself a bird. So if the first guy sits himself down in the door and he fills up the doorway, so the first guy's clearly trapping. Then comes the second guy and he sits next to him. Even though the first guy gets up and goes away, why? Because the second guy didn't do anything. He had trapped something that was already pre-trapped. So the sheni's patur, my la patur aval asur. Doesn't that tell you that it's patur aval asur? Meaning the second guy can't do that. Right? He can't purposely go behind the first guy, even though he knows the first guy's getting up. So even though he's not going to be chayav, but it's also to do that. So the same thing here. Even though the bird got under your poncho or got under your clothing, but to sit there and to watch it, to keep it trapped, yes, it was trapped by itself, but it's still also to do that. So the Gemara answers, Loi patur mutter. It doesn't, in this situation, it doesn't mean patur and asur. This is different than the rest of Hilchos Shabbos, the rest of Masechta Shabbos, and here it's patur mutter, not patur aval asur. That makes sense. Because we said, what is this case similar to? There's somebody who locks his house to watch it, and he finds a deer. So you clearly see from the Mishnah that what it means is patur umutter shma mina, because otherwise you wouldn't be able to lock the door to your house. You'd never be able to close the door to your house. So shma mina, a patur in this Mishnah, patur umutter. Ikadamri, when we say it the other way around. Ikadamri, Amar Rav Nachman, Yitzchak Afan Anami. We have a proof to this, meaning instead of asking it as a kasha, this version of the Gemara brings it just as a proof. That even though the first guy gets up and goes, the Rishon is chayiv. Hasheni patur, the second guy is patur. Ma'ila patur mutar, isn't it patur mutar? So the Gemara says, loi patur aval asur. It's patur aval asur. What do you mean? Hamadigitani seifa halamazet daimel the noil space l'shamra even if it's v'shamra v'saychay. But if the seifa says that this is similar to a guy that locks the door to his house and then he finds a deer that's already trapped in his house, mechlal the patur mutar, so it must be patur mutar. Shema, we know that that's what it is. Okay, so it's the same Gemara, is just two different ways of approaching of exactly how you got to the end. So Amar Shmuel, called Paturei the Shabbos. We had this way back on Daf Gimel. Yeah, I can't say I remember that, but it's on Daf Gimel. Yeah, called Paturei the Shabbos patur aval asur. Anytime it says patur in Masech the Shabbos, it means patur, but you can't. It's also to do the var mehani tlas, except for these three cases, the patur mutar, where it's patur and mutar. Chadaha, one is this case, right? Umimai the patur and mutar. How do you know that patur means patur and mutar? Like we just said, the Ketani Seifa, the Mazedayim, the Noilas Pesel, the Shamar Benintzat Visham B'Saychai. That's how you know that it has to be patur and mutar. V'idach hamafis morsa, right? Somebody who pops a pimple, b'Shabbos, yeah. So the question is, why are you popping the pimple? So you're popping a pimple to get pus out of it, right? So if the reason why you're popping the pimples to make an opening for it, and you plan on using that opening in the pimple to constantly drain it, then chayiv, because you made a door, you did tikkun. But if all you're doing is popping the pimple in order to get the pus out of it, right, and you don't particularly care for it to have an opening, then you're patur. It's right. Then you're going to be patur. Now, all patur means patur avosa. So we say no, it's patur mutar. Mimai the patur mutar. How do you know that it means patur mutar? The Tanan machat shel yad. It says that somebody has a machat shel yad is a needle, a hand needle. Litol ba esakaitz. You can use it to take out a splinter. V'yidach. So you can take it out to take out a splinter. So clearly, you are allowed to take out a splinter. How can you take out a splinter on Shabbos? You're making a hole. You're making a hole. Elamai, if your kavana is not to make a hole with the splinter, then you're okay. Then you can pop the hole in it, even though theoretically you are making a hole. Right? But since that was not your intent, then it's okay. Yeah.
By definition, you said, well, you don't care if you make a hole. You don't make that Pesach. But like you do want that Pesach. It doesn't make a difference where on the boil or the pimple it is or whatever. You don't particularly care where, but you do want it because you want that pus to exit from the infection.
Right.
So what you just said doesn't make a lot of sense. Meaning, like, if you take a needle and you pop the pimple, then you're making the Pesach. But you can't take the pus out without making a Pesach, right?
Correct, that is true. But if you don't care, meaning it's just sort of getting, how do you say it? This is
saying
sort of
it's a psik ratio denichale.
It's a psik ratio. Well, it's
denichale.
But it's melacha shein צריכה legופה. Right? It's melacha because you would be very happy if the pus went out of this pimple without making an opening.
Yeah, but there's no other way to do it.
What? Theoretically, you can press down on it. It can go back into the body.
No, that's not how it works, though.
Why not?
Well, I mean, it could. If you just leave it alone after a couple of days, it might just go away. But that's not how it works. If you want to expel it from the body, you're gonna have to open up the head of the pimple.
Yeah, but theoretically, you could press down, let's say, on a spoon and let it go in the other way. No, get absorbed into the body.
No. I mean, that's if you have, I guess, possibly, I mean, I'm not a doctor, but possibly if you have like a big infection, possibly, but then I can't imagine that, it doesn't work like that. That's why we get pimples.
Okay, that's true, but...
You want it out, and the only way to get it out most of the time is to make a hole.
Right.
Correct, but the bottom line is it's all tali. Like we know with Hilchos Shabbos, it's all tali and kavana. It's all tali and kavana. But let's all, because we're going to get to the sugi of mafis mursa. We'll see, right? Yeah.
We're going to have time.
That's the second case. What do you say?
We're gonna have time. We're gonna have time.
No, not tonight. I'm saying when we get to the.
When
to
we get there,
Siddur.
we're gonna have time.
Hopefully, Mashiach will be here, and we won't be running, and we won't be doing, and that.
If not, I'll try to make some time.
There you go. V'hidach, yeah, hatzad nachash b'Shabbos. Somebody traps a snake on Shabbos. If you're busy with it, shalei yishchenu patur, that you shouldn't bite you, then it's patur. Imler refuah chayiv. Again, it's all totally in the what was your intent. If it's for refuah, meaning you're trapping it because you want to take out the what do you call it? You want to take something out of the snake in order to use it for the healing properties, then you're going to be chayiv, right? Okay, so my the patur and mutter. How do you know that it's patur and even mutter to trap the snake? The tanan kaifin ka'ara al haner b'shvil shalei techas b'kaira, right? You can put a ka'ara, a plate on top of a candle so that it doesn't hit the roof and then burn it down. Val tzaya shel katan, and you could also put it on the excrement of a cotton. Val akre shalei tishach, and you could put it on a scorpion so that it doesn't bite. So clearly you see that you are allowed to trap any animal that you're afraid of. You're allowed to trap it because so that it shouldn't do damage, and that it's a mutter lechatchila, right? So those are the three cases of mutter. So if anybody ever asks you, what are the three cases of patur aval mutter? So it's popping a pimple, it's trapping a snake, and it's if a thing gets trapped under your clothing. Yeah, those are the three. Fine. Yeah. So now shmoina shratzim. We need a little hakdama over here, which is that there are 8 shratzim. Rabar, maybe you could post on your list on the WhatsApp eventually of what the names of all of them are. Rabar, we did learn this like a month ago, and he compiled what each one of the shmoina shratzim are. I'm sure the Art Scroll has it, but anyway, so really you're chayiv on anything that has skin. You're chayiv for killing them on Shabbos and trapping them, right? But there are 8 shratzim that maybe have a little bit of controversy about them, whether you're going to be chayiv on it or not. So the Mishnah goes through that whole list. So shmoina shratzim havurim b'Torah, right? There's 8 shratzim that it's said in the Torah. Hatzadon v'achayil ben chayiv. If you trap them and you damage them, either killing them or just wounding them, then you are going to be chayiv, right? B'shar shkatzim u'ramasim hachayil ben patur. Any other shkatzim u'ramasim, if you do damage them, you're going to be patur. Hatzadon l'tzayir chayiv, and then if you trap them, if it's for a reason, like we just saw with the snake, then you're going to be chayiv. Shaloi l'tzayir, it's going to be patur. Chayiv ha'oif shebreshusay, and if you have a chayiv and oif that's already in your property, hatzadon patur v'achayil ben chayiv. If you trap them, you're going to be patur, because it's in your property, but those that damage them is going to be chayiv. Okay, so Zog the Gemara, Chayiv ben chayiv, this that you say that if you damage these 8 shratzim, you're chayiv, Machlal islu ar. It has to be that it has skin, meaning only something that has skin can you be chayiv for damaging. Rashi in the Mishnah says that there's 2 possibilities but damaging, which we already had this a bunch of blot ago, but there's 2 potential. Which one of the lamates malachos is it for damaging? So it's either netilas neshama, or it's dyeing the skin. Whatever it is, the only way you could have a sheretz to be chayiv for damaging a sheretz if it actually has skin. So again, it's this that the Mishnah says that if you damage them, you're chayiv mechlal to islu or. Right, so then we see that it must have had skin. Mantana, who's the Tana of this Mishnah? The Tana there are 8 shratzim that have skins. Okay, so that's for that. He's talking about for tum and tahara. That basically what the halacha is that an animal, the skins of an animal have the same din as the flesh. Right, but there's some that don't. So the Gemara the pasuk goes through a bunch of them. So half of them, that anoka, koyach, halta, and chaymet, their skins have a separate tumah besides for the basar, right? So it must be that they don't. And the reason for that is because I'm sorry, I explained it wrong. Skins normally do not get tumah, right? It's considered a separate entity in an animal. There are 4 shratzim that say, well, at least the Rabbanon say there's 4 that do get tumah because they don't really have skins. Rabbi Yochanan ben Nuri says no, all 8 of them get tumah, but the Rabbanon say not, right? So the Tanam Rabbi Yochanan ben Nuri Amashmayda shratzim yeshan oiros. Rav Bar Avhuna Amar Rav Afilu Temer, right? So therefore it must be the Mishnah of Rabbi Yochanan ben Nuri. So so Rav Bar Avhuna Amar Rav Afilu Temer Rabbanon. No, you could say even our Mishnah is the Rabbanon. Akan like Pligi Rabbanon led Rabbi Yochanan ben Nuri Alalinin Tumah. There they have a Machlokes by Tumah, where the Rabbanon say only 4 of them become Tameh and the other 4 don't. But by Shabbos, it says these are Tameh. It comes to include those that their skins are like the basar. In Shabbos, but for Shabbos, the Rabbanon are moided that all 8 of them you're going to be chayiv. Okay, again, so we're saying now what Rav is saying is that Rabbi Yochanan, is it Rav? Yeah. Rav is saying that Rabbi Yochanan ben Nuri disagrees with the Rabbanon by Tumah, but by Shabbos the Rabbanon would agree that you get all 8 are you're gonna be chayav. Well, in Shabbos loy pligi, this next chakavatari here is a little bit complicated. Well, in Shabbos loy pligi, and for Shabbos they don't argue, they don't disagree, meaning they only disagree by Tumah, but by Shabbos they agree, right? For Tanya. If you trap any one of the 8 shratzim that it says in the Torah, if you damage them, you chayav. There's no skin only for what the chachamim counted in the Mishna over there in Chulin. Right? Now the thing is, the Mishnah there in Chulin doesn't count the ones that have skin. The Mishnah there in Chulin counts the 4 that don't have skin. Right? So the Rabbanon are saying only the ones that have skin. So the Gemara asks immediately, Adarabah, the Mashamanu Chachamim Ein Lahem Or, the ones that the Chachamim counted in Chulin don't have skin. Right? This is what I'm saying. Ein Or Chaluk Mi Basar Elo Lamashaloi Manu Chachamim. The skin, like we said before, the skin is not considered different than the basar, only for what the Chachamim did not count, not what the Chachamim did count. Meaning, the ones that the Chachamim counted in Chulin, the 4, is talking about those are the ones that don't have skin. What we're saying here is that the ones the ones in the Mishnah there do have skin. Here we're counting the ones that don't have skin. So it says what you're changing the words in a Machlokes. You just said he said Elo Amar Rava Hachi Kamar Ein Or Metame Kebasar. The skin does not become tamei like the flesh. Only what the chachamim counts. Okay, so Michlal. So we see from this, the Rabbi Yochanan ben Nuri, Hanach Nami Deloy Manu Chachamim Matamen. Whatever it is, you see Rabbi Yochanan ben Nuri say that the 4 that are not mentioned in the pasuk, he's also matamen. But don't we say that according to Rabbi Yochanan ben Nuri, there's 8 shratzim that have skin and they don't become tamei? So it's okay. So basically, we have that it can't be so that the Chachamim are disagreeing even by Shabbos. So only by Shabbos. The way we're going to say it is that the Chachamim say for Tumah there's no skin only to what the Chachamim count. And do they still not argue on Shabbos? If you trap any one of the 8 shratzim that says in the Torah, if you damage them, you chayiv, right? So, and we say b'shratzim sheyesh an oiros. It's talking about shratzim that have skins. What is considered a chabura that doesn't come back? Right? That's a little bit misleading that it doesn't come back. She'ein chazeres means that it doesn't heal. It has to be a chabura that never heals, right? Chayzera sounds like the cut comes back. This is Eina Chayzera, meaning it doesn't heal, so it doesn't come back. So Nitzur Hadam, so what it is the blood gathers under the skin and it never goes away. Sort of like a black and blue mark that never goes away, right? A black and blue mark is the accumulation of blood under the skin, correct? I mean, I'm no doctor, but that's what I think. So that's what this is, and it doesn't ever go. It never goes away.
Like when you bust a nail up.
Right. So but this, right? I mean, the ones.
Like a blood blister.
Right, it doesn't go away. That's a good point. Right, that's a good point. And it never
blood
goes away. What do you say?
It's called a blood blister, maybe.
Yeah, but do those go away?
Eventually.
Oh, no, but this one's talking about where it never goes away.
It's like permanent?
It's permanent. This is a permanent, it's really talking about animals. It never goes away. What do you want, Baron?
What did Yossi call it? What did he say?
He said like on a nail. Sometimes somebody hits a nail and the nail never goes away.
Oh.
Something like that, right? Anyway, so Rabbi Yochanan ben Nuri shratzim yesh len oiros. So he said, Rabbi Yochanan ben Nuri says, no, the 8 shratzim do have oiros. Okay, bottom line is with this whole shakli attire, it's a little complicated. But the bottom line is that the Gemara is saying that Rabbi Yochanan ben Nuri and the Chachamim seem to be having a machlokes whether we consider the skins of these shratzim legitimate skin, or would you consider it part of the body of the animal? Okay, so Rabbi Ashiman Tanakama, Rabbi Yehuda, Dasal Basar Gishta. The Tanakama is Rabbi Yehuda, and he goes Basar Gishta, goes with the skin. Okay? I don't know, not the skin, I'm sorry, with the way it feels. The Tan Rabbi Yehuda, Halata'a Kechulda. Right, the lita is like a chulda. So that's Rabbi Yehuda, meaning Rabbi Yehuda Taka does disagree with Rabbi Yochanan ben Nuri and only says that 4 of them have skins, 4 of them don't have skins. But the Rabbanon who argue with Rabbi Yochanan ben Nuri in that previous brisa, that by Fatuma, by Shabbos they agree. So basically what comes out now, we have 3-way machlokes. We have Rabbi Yochanan ben Nuri who holds that the 8 shratzim all have legitimate skin. You have the Rabbanon who only say that half of the shratzim have skin. And then you have Rabbi Yehuda, but that's only for Tumah. But for Shabbos, all 8 of them are considered having skin. And then you have Rabbi Yehuda who holds that they don't have skin, not for, he holds that there's a straight up machlokes to him and Rabbi Yochanan ben Nuri. Okay. If that's the case, how did Rabbi Yochanan ben Nuri, when the Mishna, when the Brisa on Amud Aleph says this is the words of Rabbi Yochanan ben Nuri, it should say that these are the words of Rabbi Yochanan and the one who disagrees with him. So because there's 3, there's the Rabbanan do agree with Rabbi Yochanan ben Nuri by Shabbos. So then the Gemara says yes, learn it like that. Tani Rabbi Yochanan ben Nuri. So say that. Okay. Now, for the racists among us, you're going to want to listen to this next Gemara. Okay, Bomine Levi Meirava. How do you know that it has to be a chabura that never comes back, meaning that never heals? Right? Will a kushi shed its, kushi means a black person. Will a black person ever change its color or shed his skin? V'nomer. And a leopard, a leopard is spotted, right? So will a leopard lose its chavaruraisa? My chavaruraisa. What does it mean chavaruraisa? Elam at the me, right? If it's talking about the spots on it, it shouldn't say it's chavarburais. It should say it's colors, right? Chavarburais sounds like something that's foreign to it. Ella kikushi. What it means is like a kushi, ma oire de kushi, eine chezeres, av chabura, eine chezeres, right? Just like a kushi will never change his skin color, the way he is the way he is. You ever going to change that? Av chabura, eine chezeres, so too the chabura also. Yeah, Gershon Chab, what I was saying. All right, it is what it is, right? You ain't changing it, right? Deal with it. Right? It's in Yonah de Yoma. Fine. Yeah, B'shar shkatzim.
Mom is so politically correct. Not one comment from anybody.
I know, the
Oilam is so nervous with all the guns and dogs on this thing. You would think there would be a comment.
I know, whatever.
The recording has stopped.
There you go.
Maybe they're just busy listening to the fireworks instead of the Gemara. Okay, B'shar shkatzim, other shkatzim, right? So we said. So what did Mishna say about that? The Mishnah said other types of creepy crawly things. Yeah. Hachayv ben is patur. If you damage them, you're patur, but you trap them, you're chayav. Yes, so Zok the Gemara of Ashash Katzim Ha Hargon Chayev. Sounds like if you're going to kill them, you're going to be Chayev. Man Tana Omer Rav Yirmiyah Rav Elazar, Tani Rav Elazar Omer. Now, by the way, this next Gemara, for any of those that are into science, okay, and sometimes Gemaras say things that are totally against science, this Gemara is for you. So we already took care of the racists, and now we're going to take care of Apikarsim. Okay? So anybody that wants to deny whether the Gemara knows what they're talking about, this next Gemara is for you. Okay? So who's the Tana that says that you're Chayiv? Man Tana, Amar Rav Yirmiyah Rav Elazar, the Tana Rav Elazar, Amar Ahari Kina b'Shabbos, Kahira Gomel b'Shabbos. If you kill a kina, how do you touch kina? A bug. It's a bug, but it's a
Louse.
louse, right? If you kill a louse on Shabbos, it's as if you kill a camel, meaning b'Shabbos, it's the same thing as killing a camel. Maskol Rav Yosef, so Rav Yosef has the kasha, Adkan, like Pligi Rabbanon, led Rabbi Eliezer. Rabbanon only disagree with Rabbi Eliezer and said that a louse, you're patur on Ela Bekina, by a louse, the ain't a part of it. A louse does not, how do you call it? Multiply with nature, meaning a louse does not have a mother and a father. It's called spontaneous generation, right? If anybody remembers from the worm and bug issue in the water and all that, Kina, the Chachamim hold that and this is when we paskin like the Chachamim, that if you kill a lice on Shabbos, you are not chayiv, because in order to be chayiv on killing something, it has to have parents, and lice are created from dirt. Okay, so what they call that spontaneous generation, science, as far as I know nowadays, disagrees with this and says there's no such thing as anything that could be spontaneously generated. Everything has to have a mother and a father. Okay, but the Rabbanon clearly say that a louse, you're not chayiv on Shabbos, and we paskin like this, that if you kill a louse on Shabbos, then you're not chayiv because it's spontaneously generated and it does not have parents. But either way, the Rabbi Elazar they only disagree by a louse. Aval shash katzim rasim the parim v'ravim, but every other creepy crawly thing that does have parents, parim v'ravim, and it does multiply naturally, like polig, they don't disagree. Now, what is this Machlokes based on? They learn it out from the elim ma'adamim. Those are the goats, rams. Those are the rams that they use their skins in the Mishkan for the, to cover over the Mishkan. Rabbi Elazar Savar ke'elim. We learn out that all animals have to be like elim. Ma elim sheyesh ben netilas neshama, just like an ayil, a ram, has netilas neshama, and you're chayiv if you kill it. Av kol sheyesh ben netilas neshama. So then anything that has a netilas neshama, you're going to be chayiv on, right? So that's Rabbi Elazar. So a kina has a neshama, right? A louse has a neshama. There's something, I don't know, a neshama. Whatever it has, I don't know if it has a neshama.
Wouldn't it be called a nefesh?
What?
Wouldn't they have a nefesh?
Yeah, I guess that's really what it. Yeah. It's more a nefesh, not a nefesh. I don't know. It depends on your philosophy about.
There's two types of neshama. The way the Torah uses it the first time is breath. Here it means anything that breathes.
Right. So neshama means from neshima. Right. It means I understand that it's got a beating heart. That's all. Right. That's what it means. I mean, unfortunately, I know people that seemingly also only have a beating heart, not much more than that. Not a nefesh, not a neshama, whatever it is. But I try and make that's not me. But whatever it is. So Rabbi Elazar is saying, as long as it has a beating heart, you're going to be chayiv on that. But Rabbanan Savri ke'elim. Ma elim the par of a rabbin, I've called the par of a rabbin. It has to be like elim, that if elim have parents, so too only something that has parents, and lice do not have parents. Okay, how you want to rectify this with science? I don't know. Amalei Abaya, the kina ain't part of a rava. Does a kina not have parents? V'amar mar Yoshev Hakadosh Baruch Hu zon mikarni re'emim ad beitzei kinim. Hakadosh Baruch Hu sits right every night, and he goes through. He feeds the whole. He decides who's going to be fed and who's not, and he feeds from the karne, from the horns of the re'emim v'ad beitzei kinim. So you see that kinim have eggs, right? Beitzei kinim is eggs of kinim. So clearly there are parents there if it has eggs. It doesn't just spontaneously generate from dirt. So the Gemara answers, Minahu the mikri beitzei kinim. No, it's not talking about eggs of lice. It's a different type of min, a different type of bug that's called beitzei kinim. Batanya tfuye beitzei kinim. So the same question. We have tfuye and beitzekinim. So the one answers, minahu the mikri beitzekinim. There's this type of min that's called beitzekinim. Fine. Bare piroish, the part of a rava. But we have a piroish is piroish is a fly, mosquito or a fly? What? Piroish? I thought it was a fly.
A flea?
It's a gnat.
A gnat. Okay.
Gnat or a flea?
A gnat or a flea. Okay. All right. Fine. Okay, good. I know I was sitting outside for the last half hour and I'm quite bit up by whatever it is. Whatever it is going on. It's in Yonah the Yaima because I'm itching all over the place. But anyways, Bare pirosh, okay, a gnat or a flea or whatever is the part of a ravya. It does have children. V'tanya hatzad pirosh b'Shabbos. If you trap it on Shabbos, Rabbi Elazar mechayev. Rabbi Elazar says chayev. Rabbi Yeshua patur. Rabbi Yeshua says patur. Yeah. So, I mean, this is an obvious thing. Till now we're talking about killing. All of a sudden now we switch to trapping. So Amar Rav Ashi, tzeda hariga karamis. Are you asking from trapping to killing? Ad kan like plug Rabbi Elazar Rabbi Yeshua ela demar savar davar shein b'mina nitzat chayev umar savar patur. That Rabbi Elazar and Yeshua have a Machlokes, right? Where we had a blot ago. That one says ein b'mina nitzat is chayev, and one says patur, meaning if it's not the type of thing that you trap, right? So one said you're chayev for that anyways, and the other mandamar said you're patur. But for killing, even Rabbi Yeshua is maida that you're going to be chayev, even if it's not something that normally is hunted. But if you kill a bug, then you are going to be chayev for killing that bug. Fine. Hatzadan l'tzarech chayev. If you trap them for a need, then you're going to be chayev, right? And what does it say in the Mishnah? Hatzadan l'tzarech chayev. If you trap them for tzarech, then you're going to be chayev. Shaloi l'tzarech, not for the tzarech, then you're patur. Mantana. Again, we had this many times. Reb Shimon, the Tana of our Mishnah is Reb Shimon. Melacha shein צריכה לגופה patur aleh. He says if you're doing the melacha for something that's not meant for the way it was meant in the Mishkan, then you're patur. So therefore, if you trap it because you need it to be trapped, so then that's what they did in the Mishkan. They trapped the animals because they needed them to be trapped. So then you'd be chai. But if you're only trapping the animal because you just don't want the animal to be annoying, you don't particularly care to have it trapped, you'd be very happy if it just fizzled out or ran away. So then you're really not trapping for trapping's sake. You're just trapping because you don't want it. So then Reb Shimon holds, right, throughout the Masechta we had this, Reb Shimon holds, you're going to be patur. And we do pass like Reb Shimon. So some learn it on this. Hamafis Mursa b'Shabbos. If you pop a pimple on Shabbos, so here we get into it a little bit, right? Reb Zev, I don't know how much time we'll have to discuss it, but okay. If you're doing it to make a mouth, the chayev. If it's to take out from it, leichas, and it's patur. Right? Mantana, who's the one that says this? Reb Shimon, it's Reb Shimon. The Amar, melacha shein tzricha legufa patur aleh. It's a melacha that you're doing it because not for the reason that was done in the Mishkan, then you're patur. So therefore, if you're popping a pimple just because you want the pus out of there, even though you're doing the same thing, but since you're not doing it for the reason that they busted things in the Mishkan to try and get blood or dyes, so then therefore you're going to be patur. And some learn it on this. Right? If you trap a snake on Shabbos, if you're busy with it because it shouldn't bite you, so then patur. Because again, you're not trapping it because you want it to be trapped. You're just trapping it because you don't want it to bite you. In the refuah chayev, but if you're trapping because you want it to be able to do refuah, then you're chayev. Yeah. Man Tana, who's the Tana? Amar Rav Yehuda, Amar Rav, Reb Shimon. It's Reb Shimon to Amar Melacha shein tzricha legufa patur aleh. These are all going according to Reb Shimon, who says unless it's done exactly for the reason why you did it in the Mishkan, then you're going to be patur. So Amar Shmuel, hashoyle dagman hayam. New subject here. So till now we're talking about things that bleed, right? Even though fish bleed, but we're talking about things that are above ground. Now we're talking about in the water. How do you know, like when you're chayev for that? So Amar for killing it. So Amar Rav, Amar Shmuel, Hashoyle dagman hayam, somebody who lifts up fish from the sea, kivan sheyavash by kesela chayev. Once that fish dries up, the size of a sela, the size of a coin, meaning a little bit of it dries up that much of a sela, then you're going to be chayev. It means that it has to dry up between its, how do you call it? its fins. It has to dry between its fins. I guess it's much more, once it gets to dried over there, you know the fish is going to die. But if it just gets dried on the top of the skin somewhere else, then that's not necessarily enough to show that it's dead. Amar Rav Ashi, and it doesn't mean that it has to mamash be dry. Riri, it has to make, riri is like slime, right? It has to be it doesn't have to be mamash dry, but it starts sliming up, so you know that it's already at the point of no return, and that fish will no longer be alive soon. So Amar Marbar Hamduri, Amar Shmuel, Haishid Yodi Lemei Behema, Dildal Uber Shebemeya Chayev. If you stick your hand into the stomach of an animal, and it's pregnant, and a pregnant animal, Dildal Uber, and you shake the fetus, Shebemeya, and it miscarries, Rashi says that it miscarries, so you're going to be Chayev. Now, it's not alive yet, so how you Chayev? My time, Amar Rabba Bar Hamduri, Asbarali. Amar Rabba says, Bar Hamduri Asbarali. Bar Hamduri explained it to me. Lav Amar of Sheshes Haiman, the Tolash Kshusa Mehizmi Vehigi. This person who detaches hops from Hizmi Vehigi. Hizmi Vehigi are types of plants, right, that don't actually grow from the dirt. They grow from the air, right? So Mechayim Mishum Oiker Dava Megidula. The reason why you're chayav for those hops, even though you're not really taking anything from the dirt that it grows from the ground, is because of oiker davar megidul. You're uprooting something from where it grows from. Here too, when you stick your hand into the womb of an animal and you detach the fetus from the animal, so therefore you're being oiker davar megidulai, and you're going to be chayav, right? Which is it's a tolda of toilish.
Animal's alive or no?
Animal is alive.
Has to be alive, right? Yeah,
yes, it's alive. Yes, it has to be right. That's a good point. If it was dead, then it wouldn't. Then it's no longer growing, right? You're sticking it in and then you're detaching it, so you're causing it to miscarry. So then you're going to be chayav. Amar Abaya, Hai man detalash pitra miuna dechatzva mechayev. A person detaches. Pitra is pitrios, is like mushrooms, right? So they grow from the air and they grow on. Miuna dechatzva is the handle of a chatzah is the thing that you draw water with, right? So like you've seen anything that sits under the water for a long time has these things that grow on it. That stuff is not, there's no dirt there. So it just grows on there, and then on there a mushroom grows. So you're going to be chayiv mishum, you just uprooted something where it grows. Meaning the point is that these things are not necessarily attached to the ground. Still you're going to be chayiv on it for the same way you're chayiv for detaching things from the ground. Right, if you remember this way back, it's only actually 12 blot ago. If you detach something from a flower pot that has a hole in it, you're chayav. If you detach it from a flower pot that doesn't have a hole in it, you're patur, because it's not attached to the ground. So what's the question? How come? Why are you not chayav for oiker davar migidula? Even though, granted, the flower pot's not attached to the ground and it has no hole in it, but you're taking a flower from the place that it grows. So no, hasam lav hainu revise, hacha hainu revise. There, it's not the normal way to grow flowers, but here there is a normal way to grow mushrooms and stuff. It would grow in there. That's a normal way to do it. And a flower pot that doesn't have a hole, it doesn't normally. That's not the normal way to grow. I just wonder nowadays that people do grow vegetables in flower pots. Right?
Yeah, but
so I wonder if the halacha. What do you say?
They all have holes in them, drainage holes.
They have holes, but they're not attached to the ground, those holes. Then the question is if it goes with cement.
No, most of them are, because it goes. I mean, they sit wherever they sit. Meaning, like I have a whole bunch that sit on cement, and my wood deck, but the holes.
Right. So are those benefiting from the ground?
No.
Right. So I wonder, but you grow stuff in them, right? So I just wonder if this Gemara changes now, because people do that.
You put dirt in it, you know.
Right, but it's still detached from the ground. So I just wonder if this halacha would change nowadays. I'm not sure. Though.
Quick question before you go. All right. On Shabbos, I wanted to pick some mint. I didn't do it, but I wanted to pick some mint for a drink or something like that we were making. I forgot to pick some before Shabbos, but I didn't pick it. But mint. Yeah. Would I be able to do that on Shabbos if I was using it for food?
What do you mean, from a flower pot?
Yeah.
So we're saying patur
Byron, you're
aval
muted.
We're saying patur aval asur, right? So you wouldn't be able to. You wouldn't be chayiv if you did it. Right?
Bummer.
Yeah. You wouldn't be chayiv, but it is allowed.
Bummer. Okay.
Yeah.
Aaron Kaplan, you
I
there?
don't think he's on. I think he left.
Left.
After 10.
Anyways, all right. A good night, everybody. Stay safe.
Right.
Enjoy the fireworks.
Good Tanakh, Yashikayach.
Thanks.
Bye-bye.
Night.